Hello, I'd like to share the latest journal that I've finished adding things to. I made this a little while ago. I think I'm going to call this one Love. This was something that my mom gave me when I was a teenager, and she had it when she was a teenager. I'll be keeping this journal because it's got stuff from Daphne's Diary, such as this butterfly, and they don't like you to sell things that you've made using from their magazine. But that's a bonus for me because I adore their magazine and I adore the things in it. So it's inspiring, and I guess I get to keep this one or give it for a gift. Made it out of my usual cereal box. So it's 6 1/4 by almost 9 1/4. See, 9 1/8. It has 3 signatures, and this is tied pretty tight, so she is chunky. 3 1/2 with it tied quite tight. There's the spine, and the signatures are hidden under the lace. I can see one there. And it's got vintage music paper covering it. I love the feel of it. And it's also been sewn on. So let's take a peek inside. Got some extra things done around the house today, so I thought, oh, I think I'll treat myself to some time with my journal. The inside is lined with scrapbook paper, and the music paper overlaps underneath about 1 inch. And I also put fabric all the way through to the other side as well to create a pocket and to give extra strength to the spine. Double-sided tag with a tuck spot on each side. And I got this idea from watching Carrie at the Paper Monkey. She did a video about that too. I like this side because it goes with that. This little cluster I made. Magazine picture. If you hear scurrying about in the background, those are my cats playing. Once again, I usually make my tags so that they're blank on the back. And I enjoyed stitching on that one. There's something from Daphne's Diary. I highly recommend that magazine. It is adorable. So much lovely artwork in it. I think that was from it too, and this. Probably this too, which I made a little journal card out of. Oh, and these playing cards. I got these at the thrift store a while ago. Adorbies. The gingham background. And I didn't have the heart to cover up the King of Hearts, and so I put some leftover tea-dyed papers back, sewed it to make a little journaling spot. And this I made out of an envelope, half of an envelope. And that I believe was from Daphne's Diary. This is scrapbook paper. That's from a magazine. And journal cards. This I did with some ink, an ink mixture, and sprayed it onto tea-dyed paper with a leaf. So one side, then I would press something on top. So this would have been me pressing it onto the paper, and then the other one would be the opposite. This is not for writing on, but I liked how it went with this page, and it just makes me feel cozy. Plant a seed of friendship, reap a bouquet of happiness. And that's a quote that Harlequin Romance included on a, I guess it was a complimentary bookmark, but I got that from the thrift store. Little watercolor I did on a book page, and then there's room for journaling on the back. Got that idea, I think, from Pam at the Paper Outpost. Little tuck spot there. This is from a little notepad I have. Thrift store paper, wrapping paper. This was from a really, really old book. It was literally, it's just falling apart. And I got this from the thrift store for, I think it may have been less than $1. It was just in the discard area. But the pictures in it are interesting. So I couldn't resist bringing that home. Here's another card. I think this is from Poland. And this is from a vintage card. It's even got genuine vintage tape on it still. Made that into a journal tag. Oh, this would be from Daphne's Diary. So you see what I mean? There's so many adorable things in it. And there's a little flower that I painted from one of my azaleas that blooms every spring. I think it might be the one that my son gave me. I've got 3. They're all very similar. Well, 3 in one part of the garden. There's some in other parts of the garden. And that's a postcard. O stamp. Writing spot. A little booklet that I made. It was one of the ones that didn't turn out perfectly in the middle. I had to put some washi tape in it. But I love how that looks. So anyways, I considered it a second, so I keep it for mine. Oh, Mama Cat's really getting her exercise now. A few minutes ago before I started filming this, she was on my lap getting pet. Well, beside my lap. She's not a lap cat, but that was as close as she gets to being on your lap. Her daughter's a lap cat. This was from a masterboard I did quite a while ago. Made lots of tags from that. Oh, Daphne's Diary. So I couldn't take the stuff that, it was too much stuff in here to try to just redo those so that I could list this when I eventually have things for sale. That's an altered stamp, and I got this idea from one of, probably one of my video playlists that I've got of favorite tutorials. And how this was done was with paper, book page, and you cut out little squares of napkin, the single layer of it, and you Mod Podge it on, and then you do a full stamp on it, a postage stamp, post office stamp on it to make it look like a stamp. So I made a few of those. You can see there's another one. There's another paper, I think that was from Daphne's Diary. This apple picture isn't, that's a lithograph from 1984. Got from a thrift store. Oh, yeah, this paper here is from Daphne's Diary. Isn't it lovely? Cheerful. And this was from a magazine. Or it might have been from that too. See what I mean? There's so many yummies in her books. Her magazines. They're not cheap, but it's a great thing to ask for as a gift. When somebody wants to know what to get you. And so my husband got me a subscription, a 1-year subscription to it. And that's from Daphne's Diary. Love. Yes, I love that magazine. Should put a link to it in my description later when I go to edit it. That's from a card. And then I've glued it on to some tea-dye paper. Wrapping paper. And this is a little envelope made from a coffee filter. And then inside I've put some tea-dyed paper to write on. I stamped it with a quote, "Time passes, friendship stays right where it's put." I guess that's why I put it on this page. And that's a Daphne's Diary butterfly too. And this is napkin decoupaged onto a piece of book page, and then that was put onto a piece of tea-dye paper, and so on. With some fabric as a tab. Looks like something might fall in out of there. Alter paper clip. I love leaving these little spots here for journaling. My favorite kind of pocket. Oh, another full stamp. This is from Daphne's Diary. And then I put a couple of tags in it. And this might be too, but I don't remember. I stamped that, of course. And this was from, seems to me that was from a gift book or a like day book or something. Had lots of flowers in it. And this was from an address book. Things that I got from the thrift store. And this was from a gift book from the thrift store. The quote on the back is lovely. Friends help us know ourselves a little better. They make you feel less alone. Yeah, good friends validate your feelings. And I just love it when someone says something that I was already thinking. I go, oh my goodness, yeah, I'm not the only one. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. Song of Solomon on the back. The winter is past, the rain is over and gone, the flowers appear on the earth. Spring, yeah, my favorite season. It's a little booklet that I made. I think I learned this one from Shabby Dabby Doodah. And just a card made into a journal tag. This was shelving paper that I got, scented drawer paper that I got from the thrift store. And I saw the butterflies and I went, oh yes, I need that. That's from a vintage card. And that's from a card from the thrift store. I think I haven't been for a couple of weeks. That's a long time for me. Yeah, and I'm buying less stuff lately because if I know I already have a lot of lined paper, there's no point buying more. So if I don't have room on my shelf, then I can't buy more of that thing. Only things that I'm running short of, like right now, I wouldn't mind some more cards. I thought this one went nice on this page. And I've been saying this is blueberry dye paper. Now, I did have some blueberry dye paper, but I think I used it up. This is from the grapes. Because I don't drink wine. And I don't make wine, but we have some wine grapes the previous owner planted here. We also have some eating grapes, and the wine grapes, I was thinking about making jelly this year, but instead I just dyed some papers with it. I don't eat toast very much anymore, but it would be good even like the occasional times when we have pancakes or French toast. This was from a magazine, and it's an advertising for a book. I think Toddering in the Garden or something like that, and I did read that book. It was charming. As a gardener, I really appreciated the little memoir. It was a gentle read. It wasn't super deep. It was just, you know, a cozy read. Here's a picture that I did from a tutorial on YouTube, but I'm sure it doesn't look much like the teacher's. But I do like how the bellies turned out. Yeah, little robins. Well, my version of a robin. I actually find I do better if I don't try to make it look too real. I can get away with that with flowers, but not with critters. I tend to do a really goofy job if I try to make it look too real. There's little flowers I did. Watercolor and pen. And this is fabric glued on there to make a upper tuck. And I sewed this on there for some extra color. And I've noticed I will write in here, like when I'm journaling. Because this morning when I was journaling in the book that I have on the go right now, that I made a while ago, I do journal in all those little spots. It makes it interesting, makes it fun. And yeah, and I was journaling about hope. Washi tape down there, some note paper there in that pocket, journal card there. And this was an idea, this one I got from Pam at the Paper Outpost. Oh, and I cheated and put some washi tape on there. This is something she shows you to do. Like if you have a boo-boo on something, just add something and make it look like it was meant to be like that. And that got a little bit torn because this is old paper from the paper clip. So what this is it's an envelope that opens up, and there's 3 pockets. And then you do it using 3 book pages, and it should be in my favorites playlist, how to do this. That, yeah, I uploaded from Pam at the Paper Outpost. And then you just add whatever you want to in here. And on the outside, there are pockets as well. And there, you can put an eyelet here, but what I did is I put this butterfly, sanded it a bit so it didn't look too bright. And there's a pocket there, and of course there. Yeah, I rarely do someone's tutorial exactly how they do it. And I think that's fun, and I think that they would be happy to see that we got inspired and we found our way to do it that works for us. It's from a card. Oh, that's thicker than I thought. That's from a magazine. Writing space, lithograph, extra writing space there. And definitely can write in here. Sketch some snails and slugs. Interesting. Writing space there. Another envelope which has a journal card with napkin, Mod Podge onto book page, glued onto a card. And when I sew things, I got this idea from treasure books. I tie the threads, and then my little thing is I like to leave about 1 inch of thread dangling. Makes me feel cozy. And so far my cats don't usually get to notice them, so they leave them alone. But if they were here right now seeing me wiggle that around, I'm sure I'd be in trouble. And here's another version of that tag I was talking about, except this is my take on the tag. I make it so that the tucks are on one side and then the back is free for journaling. Another example of seeing an idea that you love and then doing your own thing with it. This here is another one where I saw something, I think it was on Pinterest, and then I just did my own version of it. Like, it wasn't a hidden paper clip that opens up with journaling space. It was just a square paper clip with this kind of pattern on it. And I thought, oh, why, I would really like to make that into a hidden journal spot. And so that's what I did. So I want to make some more of these. You know what it's like. So many ideas and not enough time. Card, tea dyed, and from a magazine, put it onto a piece of paper, sewed it, and now there's a journal card. And this is from a card. It's tea dyed and it's plain on the back. This paper really soaked up the tea when I dyed that. That's a Daphne's Diary butterfly. Tuck spot there. Home sweet home. Don't tell anybody, but we have one of those mailboxes too. In an older looking house. A cottage looking house. Here's a tuck spot here that needs a facelift, to tell you the truth. But we're growing old gracefully together, I think. Lily, that I did. Watercolor on a piece of paper and then sewed it onto another piece of paper. And you know, I think I got that idea from Pam at the Paper Outpost too. I don't know if you've ever watched her, but she doesn't use digitals that much, and so you don't feel like you're the odd one out. And the other junk journal I was talking about at treasure books, yeah, treasure books, she uses just stuff that she's repurposed. And that's who was one of the very first junk journals I watched. And that made me feel like, oh, I can do this. Yeah, I've got stuff in the basement in my craft shelves I can use. And so she really inspired me. I actually bought her book. And maybe the next time I do a video, I should just show you the book. And I won't do a flip through because I don't know if that's okay to do that. But I can show you the book. And I look at it regularly. Like when I first got it, I looked at it every day for the first 2 weeks because it's just so full of inspiration. And well, you know, when you read about something you love to do, it makes you feel cozy. A little cluster I did on a belly band, and this belly band was from Daphne's Diary paper. And this is from a calendar. I love that color. It's dye that wasn't naturally aged, but I have got some things around that are naturally aged like that. Another little cluster I did. And a Daphne's Diary butterfly and scrapbook paper. A faux stamp that I did. A little tuck spot. Another little tuck spot. And watching a video tutorial this week, I saw that you can use the wire cutter thing to cut off the shanks of buttons. And this was just a plastic back, and so I sanded a little bit too to make it flatter, and used tacky glue to glue it onto the ribbon. Otherwise that button probably just wasn't going to get used, but I love it. Definitely an oldie, and it suits that page. A couple of tucks in a little pocket. Looks like a library card pocket that I made out of an old nursery rhyme book. Page. Tea-dyed card. And there's a spot, and there's a spot, and there's a spot. And then I thought, oh, why not? And I put a dangle on this. You can see it when the book is closed. And here, I had fun. This was just an envelope here, and then I decided to glue something on the front of this, and I sewed in a little signature. Extra writing space. There's a vintage card, dyed. And I guess there's something, yeah, a little bit of paper underneath there, glued in the corner. This was something that was from my, I would consider my kind of, oh, what am I going to do with that pile? And then I went, oh, why don't I just glue some nice paper onto it, tea-dyed paper, and make it a writing spot and a pocket. I'm glad I didn't toss that. I almost threw it in the recycle because I thought, oh, that's boring. But now I think it's lovely. Here's another one of those altered, or yeah, book. It's made out of book page with double pockets. And what I did is I covered the book page with a whole bunch of scraps. And I mean, these are just scraps that were sitting in a little box beside me. And I just kept pulling them out and gluing them on. Put a little bit of washi tape on the pocket there. Journal card. I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving, my dear friends in the United States. Oh yes, I used some of that earlier. You'll see some later in here. I think it's later. Yeah, I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving and having a nice Thanksgiving weekend. Canada we have our Thanksgiving in October. That's probably because we get snow probably sooner than you do. Little belly band there. Yeah, there they are. Yeah. When I pulled that, I don't know what you call this, yarn or whatever, out of the bag, I noticed there were some little bits. I guess I didn't want to throw them out. Well, yeah. I'm not going to throw it out. What I do is for some reason, I'm keeping everything like that in my little thread drawer over there by the sewing machine. That's a postcard. This is vintage lace. A bunch of these laces I got from a thrift store. So happy to find them, and I need to use some more. I need to remember that I have them. So when you don't have this tied tight, it's 5. Yeah, she be big. But that's because I had fun, which is one of the reasons why I enjoy the people that I watch on YouTube, that, yeah, make it about having fun, you know, being creative, and not worrying if it's perfect, because that really can freeze you in your tracks. You worry about being perfect. And one of the videos I watched, I think it was today, and now of course I don't remember who it was, they had kind of a closing thing they wanted to say, and it got me thinking, oh yeah, there's this quote by Dorothy L. Sayers, and I can't remember the exact quote, but I have kind of my own little paraphrase of it, and that is, you're never closer to your truest self than when you're creating something. Isn't it awesome? Just be lost and enjoying maybe music in the background or podcast and working on a junk journal. I just love that. Or a painting, or, you know, sewing, or some other craft, or even cooking. I just love that feeling. And I think, yeah, my faith kind of makes me think that we were made in the image of a creator. So yeah, when we're doing something that our Father likes to do, we probably feel closest to our real self. Anyways, happy Thanksgiving. Take care. God bless.